Well, hi, everyone. This is the Brad Free Report. It is winter at Santa Anita, and the topic this week, jockeys. There are a couple of good ones, a couple of new good ones this winter at Santa Anita. That's the main topic of this week's report. So what makes a good jockey? Well, you have to break well. The most important part of any race is the start. You got to come out of there. Secondly, you have to be able to finish. A strong finishing jockey is an attribute. A top jockey has a willingness to save ground. He or she avoids trouble, is a keen judge of pace, and always has plan B. Now, those are subjective interpretations of a jockey's skills. In the weeks ahead, we'll talk a little bit more about an objective means of evaluating a jockey's form and how to implement that into one's handicapping. But in the meantime, let's introduce the two newest members of the local colony. And the first one, his name is Andrea Atzeni, and he'll only be riding here for about a month and a half. He's an Italian-born jockey who rides in England, and he is a rising international star. What do we know about Atzeni? He's 27 years old. He's young. He's won more than 24 Group 1 races, and he's no stranger to North American racing. In fact, the last time that Atzeni rode in North America, or I should say earlier this fall, it was at Woodbine, and Atzeni rode a pair of long shots in two Grade 1 races at Woodbine, the Canadian International and the EP Taylor. We're going to take a look at Atzeni's skills aboard Desert Encounter in the Canadian International. That's Desert Encounter. He's second to last down on the inside. Atzeni is loaded. He has a ton of horse. Atzeni is sitting chilly because there's nowhere to go. A horse on the outside will come up and pass him, and at the quarter pole, Desert Encounter and Atzeni are dead last with 10 horses in front of them. Now, look at Atzeni. He's sitting chilly. He's not looking around. He's not panicking. What happens when a top jockey has a wall of horses in front of he or she? Well, he finds a way through. Desert Encounter swinging to the outside, 3 from the outside, and that's Atzeni and Desert Encounter flying home in the middle of the course to score the 8-1 upset with Desert Encounter. That was Atzeni's first ride at Woodbine, a Grade 1 victory and a terrific ride and trip. Well, what happened a half hour later? Atzeni did it again. He rode Shaka Reka in the Grade 1 EP Taylor, yellow silks on the outside. And watch Atzeni through the lane. He is more reminiscent or looks more like a U.S.-based rider than he does a European rider. Yeah, he does flail the whip a little bit high on the left side, but Atzeni rides lower in the saddle than many European jockeys, and he can finish. This is Shaka Reka scoring going away in the Grade 1 EP Taylor on Shaka Reka. Now, I admit, this is cherry picking a couple of good mounts and good rides by Atzeni, but that's indicative of what we can expect from Andrea Atzeni this winter at Santa Anita. He's on 2 mounts Friday in race number 4, Rather Nosy, in race number 6, Majestic Eagle. Watch out for Andrea Atzeni on grass for the next month and a half at Santa Anita. Okay, the second jockey is a guy you already know, and he's already made an impact. His name is Joel Rosario, Breeders' Cup Classic winner on Accelerate, Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner on the current Derby favorite, Game Winner. Rosario is one of the strongest finishers in the game, and isn't it funny how top jockeys always seem to get good trips? Well, Rosario gave Giftbox a perfect trip on opening day in the Grade 2 San Antonio Stakes. Battle of Midway and Dabster in front of him. Giftbox sat 4th on the rail behind 3 dueling leaders. That's Giftbox, the gray on the outside, under a perfect ride from Joel Rosario to inch clear late and win the San Antonio with a 101 Beyer speed figure. I think that the runner-up Battle of Midway actually ran better than Giftbox, but the difference was the trip. Giftbox got an absolute perfect trip. Top jockeys get good trips time and time and time again. Look, maybe anybody could have ridden Giftbox that day. Maybe not. Rosario gives horses perfect trips. Sadler uses him on Giftbox. Baffert uses him, Game Winner. But those are not the only 2 guys that are going to be using Rosario. In fact, Richard Baltus will be putting Rosario on next shares next week in the Grade 2 San Gabriel, and trainer Phil DAmato is also using Rosario. I got a kick out of a couple of quotes from both Baltus and DAmato. Here's what Baltus said. If I can get Rosario, I don't want to be stupid. Yeah, if you can get Rosario, you're going to get a good ride, and you're not going to get beat by him. DAmato has comebacker Cleopatra's Strike in a 2 other than allowance on Friday. Not sure if he'll get in or not, the horse. I asked DAmato, is he well meant? Is Cleopatra's Strike well meant? What did DAmato say? I wouldn't put Rosario on him if I didn't really like the horse. So if it's a comebacker or a first-time starter and Rosario shows up, you better believe that the horse is well meant. Atzeni and Rosario, a couple of guys to watch this winter at Santa Anita. Let's take a real quick look back at the stakes, a couple of stakes that were run on Wednesday, opening day at Santa Anita, including the Grade 1 Malibu. Now, the main track was definitely favorable to the outside running lanes, and that's McKenzie, 4 wide in the Pegram Silks, and he'll roll past to the most convincing win of the day, a dominating win in the Grade 1 Malibu by nearly 5 lengths. Now, you can downgrade his performance if you want to, because he did have a possible bias in his favor, but McKenzie has won 5 out of 7, and he will be fun to watch develop this winter. Another outstanding performance on opening day. It was a grass filly. Her name is Amandine, making the second start of her U.S. career. Down on the inside in second, Drayden Van Dyke, another top young jockey, taking aim at Miss Bad Behavior. And watch Amandine kick away late. She will win the Lady of Shamrock Stakes with something left. This is a good filly on her way up. She's actually entered back on Saturday in the Grade 1 American Oaks, and whether or not she runs, coming back on 4 days' notice, it will probably be a game day decision. So let's talk a little bit about the Grade 1 American Oaks. It's the biggest race on Saturday. Here's the field. 9 entered. Kodiak West is already out. We don't know yet about Amandine. It's not the greatest American Oaks field that we've seen, but I think we're going to see a very good filly who is on her way up, and it's number 9, California Gold Rush. California-based grass horses rarely ship east with much success, but California Gold Rush did exactly that. She won the Sands Point at Belmont Park, came out of the race with a pulled muscle. She started only 4 times, 3 wins. She's lightly raced. Each race is better than the one before. There are big things up ahead for California Gold Rush. The challenge on Saturday, the layoff, the 1.25 miles, low odds, and this race is completely void of pace. It's a very unusual race in that we don't really know who's going to make the lead. Maybe it's Retro with blinkers on, but I think California Gold Rush is the most probable winner on the Saturday card. I'm not in love with 5-2, and her odds actually could go down. Okay, we're going to wrap up this week's Brad Free Report with a new segment. It's called the Thumbs Up and Thumbs Down segment. We're going to give a tip of the cap and a tip of a not cap, thumbs up and thumbs down to a couple of developments at Santa Anita over this last week. Now, the job of a track announcer is actually pretty simple. Open his eyes, tell the fans what he sees. Well, Frank Miramati can do that. He also is charismatic, passionate, and a skilled announcer. Now, I want to say this about the former track announcer, Michael Rona. He is one of the best pure announcers in the game. For what Santa Anita is trying to accomplish this winter, I'm going to give a thumbs up to their hiring of personable track announcer Frank Miramati. As far as thumbs down, well, this one's easy. Now, Santa Anita does a lot of things right. They had 41,000 people at the track on opening day, and Strawnet Group's COO Tim Ritvo said, and I quote, "Attendance and handle numbers are the result of many factors, none greater than field size." Well, this new roulette wager, you bet on red, green, or black. What that does is take a large field and make it a 3-horse field. Who wants to bet into a 3-horse race? There's a lot of good things about racing, including the fact that you don't have to be right often to win, but you do have to be right often in the roulette wheel. So I'm giving a thumbs up to Miramati, a thumbs down to the new roulette wheel. That's a wrap for this week's Brad Free Report. Watch out for Andrea Atzeni and Joel Rosario. Watch out for California Gold Rush on Saturday in the American Oaks. I'm Brad Free. Talk to you next time.